Welcome to Art at Home with Miss Beth, and today we're going to do a little bit of some art history first. We're going to talk about someone named Bridgette Riley. Bridgette Riley liked making art that would trick your eyes. It has a lot of optical illusion to it and a lot of 3D effects from these. And if you notice the color patterns that they're using, you've got orange and blue. What do you know about orange and blue? Yellow and purple, red and green, and then black and white. Okay, these are all complementary colors. When you put them next to each other, they become extremely bright and they pop. White and black will do that as well. So that's why the artist that did this basically did it that way. And this, you can see, all they did was they drew a heart and they drew lines down the page. And then they went in and colored, and when it hit the part of the heart, they did the opposite. And by doing that, it makes it pop out. This is the one we're going to do today. And they have their complementary colors. I'm going to be using red and green. I've got some Sharpies here. And I'll show you, but before I start, I also wanted to give a shout out to one of my students. Emmett sent me an email with an attachment, the picture that he did. And he traced his hand, and then he drew lines. And when he got to the part of his hand on the picture, he moved it around a little, had it go up and around, and it looked so real. I honestly had to widen the screen of the picture to make sure that it really wasn't his hand, because it looked extremely 3D. He did a beautiful job. Thank you so much, Emmett. Maybe you want to try some of these. These are fun ones too. Let's start with this. So I have a square piece of paper, and let me see here. I think it was on this side. I had some markings already. So I am going to make a plus sign in the middle. And what I did, I went down, and it's 8.5, so I made a mark at 4 1/4. You can see my mark here. I made a mark here at 4 1/4, measured it down. That way it's just, if you got 2 points, point, you're going to end up with a line. I'm going to go glue it a little heavier here too. Okay, and then I need another one down. So I went again, and I've got my 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 2 points, make a line. Okay, there's the start of our piece. So this is actually, we're gonna break this in half. We're gonna put a diagonal line across, and this one I'm just gonna go corner to corner. And if you don't have a ruler, you can use any kind of straight edge. I had one of my students asking today about that, and you don't need to have a ruler to do this. I could use this piece of paper just as easily. Anything that's laying around, cardboard makes a really good straight edge as well. The only reason I'm using the ruler for this is because I'm measuring to get what I need. Aha. Okay, so what they ended up doing on the piece here, you can see the lines are going different ways. So if I put a curve here, over here I'm going to go the other direction. Then I'm going to go curve here, and then this one's going to go rounded, and then I'm going to go curve. And this is going to be how we end up adding our color to it as well. Okay, and then we're going to go up higher, and then round, curve down and around. And this will be tricking your eye. Okay, we have round, so we need to curve. I mean, you could probably finish it like that if you wanted, but as long as you're connecting them up. So Bridgette, let's talk about Bridgette Riley for a while. Yes, she liked to make art that made you kind of stop and think, made you stop and have to look at it again to see, is that for real? Is that something that is it really messing with my eyes like that? And I'm gonna do another video with the black and white, so watch for that one. But messed up. It's okay. I'm going to go this way. It's okay because we're going to end up using our Sharpie on there. So then it's down and up, down and up, as long as I'm connecting them. And I don't know if you're going to truly see it. Yeah, this one has to go down. Then this one will be another down. This one will be an up. And I think that may be about it. Okay, then you're going to take your color. Maybe we can make a few more in here. Make it a little, as long as all my lines are matching, round, down. And this one is a round. Okay, start with my red first. So they did keep some white. So red will be this whole way up. And you don't need to use, oh, this looks like it wants to run out of me too. You don't have to use Sharpie. Crayons would be just as well. I would choose contrasting colors. And typically your complementary are the ones that work the best that way. Markers would be just as easily used for this. I tested this Sharpie out before I brought it home, and it worked really well. Seems to be losing its energy now. I don't know if I can go faster here. You can see it's just the way the lines are laid out, and it has movement to it as well. Let's let it dry for just a little bit. So the next one is going to be our green, and what we're going to do to make it work like we have it, I'm going to put yeah, so I'm going to go, if red is here, we're going to do green here. Ooh, green, yeah. So we're leaving the white because that's part of what makes it have that movement. I'm kind of going fast. I mean, you can take your time more. It's still gonna work anyway, yeah. Any way you do it. Okay. So let's try our red again. Actually, let's do green again on this side. So green, white, green. You can see this pattern that we're making. And you could go back in with a Sharpie at the end, a black Sharpie, or just a black marker, and outline them all a little bit better. I don't think you need to do that, but you can. Okay. So do you see it starting to move a little? A little bit of an illusion. Let me turn it this way. Woo! That is some strong Sharpie. So we have red here, red here, red here. So we go red, white, and red here. Red here. And then red up here. Okay. So, contrasting colors. And with black and white, if you're using the black and white. They are probably your ultimate in contrasting. We've talked about tints and shades, and that's adding whites and darks. Color's amazing. There's so much you can do with color. Well, I'll tell you, the other day I went for a walk, and it's spring right now, and there were so many varieties of green. I'm going to challenge you guys to go out and just notice. I mean, the flowers that are blooming, there's all different colors of that too. You might think that purple is purple, but there are so many different purples out there. But the green is what really startled me, because it was just like this hill, and I think the new grass growing, there were just so many different greens. Okay, so let's make sure we're doing this right. Green, white. So this is where my green is. Green. And then green again, connected up. It just has this wave to it as it goes, and that's connected to there. Now you probably could do paint with this or colored pencils. I think the main thing is you just need those contrasting colors. Okay, so we're going to do the green here. This is my last green, and then we're going to not be able to finish with the red because the red is kind of drying up on me. But can you see it's like they're coming down in the others because of the line that we chose. They're going back. Illusions are awesome. And that's something that back in the day they would paint ceilings. I guess like Michelangelo. Let's just talk about him for a little bit. So he painted the Sistine Chapel, and he had to do it. The Sistine Chapel had curved. The ceiling wasn't flat. It was curved, and he had to figure out how to make it look realistic from down below, even though everything was up above. Amazingly done. They call it, there's something called trompe l'œil, which is French for trick the eye. And actually one time I painted my kid's ceiling like the sky, like it was an opening in the sky and there were clouds up above. And it looked like there could have been a hole in the ceiling with, or maybe a window up above, but it was just the way that I had painted it. So I'm sure that you guys have seen things like that, and that is the name for it. So it's not something new. Bridgette Riley was not doing anything, different than others, but it was a kind of a pop culture thing, kind of just a way to mess with your eye. And that was before, this was back in the 60s. She's still alive and she's still making art, but that was prior to anything that you would have tricked the eye with a camera and things like that. She was doing on a flat surface. It's almost like I did the 1-point perspective. If you're tricking the eye, the viewer, by making it seem like they're really looking out in the distance with 1-point or 2-point perspective, but that isn't even the case. It's just the way that you're drawing it out. So this is a different way to trick your viewer and make them think that you've got these green and white cones and then the red and white cones, and they're moving. They have this ability to feel like there's a lot of movement going on. There we go. Okay. So, is it tricking your eye? So it does. It looks like these are coming down and in, and the others are right behind. Yay. Fun stuff. Okay. Join me next time. We're going to do another Bridgette Riley, and this time we're going to work with black and white. and you are going to love this one as well. So thanks again to Emmett. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.